Chapter 1. The reincarnation games are getting wilder when an unusual tree wakes up in the middle of a forest coughing and sighing that he almost choked to death. It takes a solid moment for our brother, Yuziu, to realize he didn't almost choke to death when drinking water but completely choked to death. After realizing he has weird hair and leaves, he cannot move, and he is not at his house. He tries to sleep thinking it is just a weird dream. After a moment of nothing, there comes a wild tree freak out about the guy choking to death. It is painful that he turned into a tree instead of becoming a hero or something like what has been heard about reincarnations, but what's sadder for him is not having limbs to exercise. Ziyu then analyzes the situation as even if he is a tree, he has full vision. He can sense stuff, smell, and hear everything. His 50 branches are like limbs, but he can control only one, and he fears the lack of defense he will have even against a single woodpecker. That concern is removed when annoyed by two bees he uses his one limb to show them away, resulting in a double kill. This causes a projection to pop up showing his earning of 0.2 evolution points with this. This mutated willow body upgrades on evolution points. 0.1 evolution points for per day sunlight, and extra points for kills. The evolution points can be used to work his branches, grow his roots, and strengthen his trunk. Strengthening the branches gives them freedom and power, so Ziyu uses them to kill a hive and earn some more points. These reincarnated people really adapt pretty fast to their new lifestyle. Half a month later, Ziyu feels super brave with all his branches strengthened and 0.3 evolution points. He thinks of ways to attack, so uses all his branches to create a drill-like shape. He then charges what he calls a whirlwind tornado toward a stone to test it, but even before touching it, the stone is shattered by just the airwaves surrounding his tornado branches. Ziyu decides to keep this move up his sleeve as a hidden killing move. He wishes for the enemy to misjudge the distance and then kill it in one hit of this tornado. Ziyu then analyzes his whole evolution situation. In these 15 days, he has grown taller, unlike other ordinary tree growth processes. He can even feel his roots absorbing energy from the soil. He believes he can become stronger even without much effort, since trees grow faster than other living things by absorbing energy. He even gets a lifespan of 20 years just by what he is now. Ziyu can continue to strengthen his growth without any sickness and fatigue by earning extra points. With this hopeful life as a tree, Ziyu has decided to become some top-notch existence, earning the title of the world tree or something. Chapter 2. What could be an ideal life for a teenager? No work or study and no worries about getting any food. Ziyu seems to be living that life as a tree, as his energy automatically comes from the soil and the sunlight, and he can earn more with the adventurous hunting. He even got a nest of peregrine falcon birds on his head. These birds are faster in flight than a cheetah, which is scary if you're being hunted down by them. Ziyu decides he is not going to give up on this second chance of life, even if he is well aware that the world contains many other creatures like him. He decides to be strong no matter what grave danger he faces. What he doesn't know is that the grave dangers aren't some ordinary animals but giant ants, wild wolves, spider queens, gorillas, giant snakes, and much more. A rabbit passing by is hunted down in an instant by Ziyu, earning him 0.8 evolution points and the falcon babies some good food. This and the sunlight make his current evolution points 1. Since he already has his branches strengthened, he needs 1 evolution point to strengthen his trunk and 9 points, 1 for each root. He first thinks of using it for the trunk, but the thought of mobility makes him want to strengthen his one root and see the difference. Choosing that option, the ground starts shaking, and a sharp pain is faced by Ziyu as he waits for the root to evolve and strengthen. After having a feeling of something getting drilled inside him, Ziyu observes his root becoming so thick that it resembles a black python for him. Knowing he can freely move the branches and the roots, Ziyu wonders about the trunk and decides to test out the chance of moving freely. His efforts to move result in the most painful experience a man can face, getting hit on his private part. It is a wonder how a tree has one, but let us not go there. He decides to use his branches to surround the trunk and protect it since it has not evolved yet, so is fragile. He then talks to his root about keeping it as a secret weapon, so he decides to hide it. After doing so, Ziyu realizes that his ways might result in all evolution points being used up, so he needs to do something to save himself and the energy he consumes. This plan is halted right away by a noise from the nearby bushes, activating the battle mode of the tree in caution. Chapter 3. Suddenly, a fox falls in front of him. It is injured so deep that the wound looks black in color. He can get evolution points for killing it, but it won't be good food for the birds. He decides to use his branch sap, which has effects of detoxification, hemostasis, and recovery of physical strength. After doing so, the branch loses its strengthening and returns back to its original state. Ziyu decides to use the sap to help the fox heal, and after it has recovered, he can kill it properly, earning back the points used up for healing while getting some good food for his birds. As he drops some sap onto the fox wound, its poison is removed, bleeding is stopped and healed, and the stamina is restored. Ziyu seems to be loving the power he has as a willow tree. One of the branches becomes idle as the fox wakes up from his painful slumber. Before Ziyu could kill it again, the threatening-looking fox's eyes turned red from yellow, creating a beautiful image of the fox rather than scary. It starts rubbing against Ziyu in affection. Ziyu warns her that he won't fall for this cuteness, but his lie is unveiled the very next moment as he blushes and pets the fox. All of a sudden, the fox glows as it is also evolving after absorbing the branch sap. It is mutated to the entry-level 4 with its special ability being Eyes of Charm. Ziyu's affection and praise for the fox are paused when he notices the entry-level term and wonders what it is. He opens his status window and observes that he is currently on level 9. He realizes his essence of life didn't just heal the fox but accelerate its evolution too. He also feels the need to understand the term entry level for his future growth. He assumes he will evolve one day from entry level to some superior level. This gives him dreams about his wonderful tree life. Daydreaming and delusions seem not to change with reincarnation. Ziyu now wonders how the fuck appeared there and what caused her the deadly injury. It seems to be a wound from an arrow, scaring Ziyu as no matter how many points, he is still not a match to humans. He knows that any human will think of him as a dryad and kill him. Ziyu decides to keep a low profile for future safety. The fox suddenly senses something and jumps away in some hideout. To say Ziyu was shocked and extremely freaked out would not be an understatement with his reaction on witnessing two humans walking towards him. The two young girls come carrying a basket of fruits to meet their father. Their father was buried under him, so they came to pray for him. One of them seems to have a restless personality as she hurriedly finishes her prayer and starts eating the fruits they just offered for their father. According to her, their father would also want to eat, while according to the sister, they aren't for her. Ziyu silently observes the situation, wanting it to be over. His excitement, however, must have redeveloped the moment the restless girl grabbed the patient one and started running towards the pond to take a bath in there. Chapter 4. The two girls are enjoying each other's company, but the damn tree behind Ziyu has been blocking his vision. The girls finally leave. As Ziyu wishes they don't ever come back, they turn to tell their father that they'll visit again. In the next week, things are peaceful as he doesn't feel any danger yet, but this is interrupted by the screeches of his pet falcons. The 3 already entry-level falcons are faced by a golden eagle that has the talent to scream loud enough to burst eardrums. With the ability to tear the prey apart, the eagle attacks the falcons, but the fox intervenes. It tries to bite off the eagle only to be clutched so tight in its claw and slammed so hard into the ground that it receives brutal injuries. The eagle suddenly notices the tree whose branches are currently forming a drill shape. Seems like it is the time for a whirlwind tornado attack. The attack is strong enough to kill the level 7 golden eagle. This grants him 70 evolution points. The falcons and the fox grew this fast because Mr. Willowtree used its essence on them for 2 weeks to increase the pace of their growth. This seems to be creating a team for Ziyu there. He thanked his team for having his back and working hard, as the eagle had been circling above him the whole week while wanting to sneak up on him. But now, they have finally gotten his hands on it. Ziyu decides to hide his aura, thinking it was what attracted the golden eagle to him. Ziyu is now understanding the amount of danger that lies in the forest, as a level 7 eagle was so troublesome to him. This proves that a creature with the same level as him must have the benefit of being able to kill him. He is glad to not have faced any such creature yet. Knowing that the canyon carries creatures that have the power to kill him in a single hit, he needs to work harder, to be stronger, and not act carelessly about his evolutions and his surroundings. Chapter 5. Ziyu knows he is not the only one that needs to become stronger in this scenario. He needs to help the fox and falcons grow stronger with him. After earning these 70 evolution points, he decides to treat every one of his pets with a drop of his sap. He looks forward to how strong these creatures can become once they ascend from the entry level to the first order. Suddenly, something seems off. Ziyu tries to calm them down, but a strong blow occurs around them all. Even with the protection of his root and branches, he gets a warning of the two getting damaged by the blow. With the warning, the window appears the culprit behind it as well. A huge snake. In no more time, the snake rolls up around Ziyu and cuts off his 26 of 50 branches. But what hurts Ziyu even more is that he wasn't able to sense the snake approaching him. It must be because Ziyu is getting way too ahead of himself by immersing himself in easy little victories. Ziyu is amused by the snake also hiding its aura, but decides to have the system open its status window. The tomahawk snake is a level 9 snake with the perfect ability to hide their aura and a blade that can penetrate a steel plate. The cherry on top, the tomahawk snake is considered the arch-nemesis of trees, which happens to be the reincarnated version of Mr. Ziyu. The fox sneers at the snake wanting to defend Ziyu, but Ziyu himself tries to warn her to not do something so dangerous. The snake suddenly pulls Ziyu out and bites it off, hurting it even more than it did before. Not liking the taste of the trunk, the snake charges towards Ziyu. Ziyu fiercely glares at the snake, telling his falcons and fox to stay back a step as he deals with the issue at hand. Ziyu then uses his two consolidated roots to block the attack of the snake, and the two give murderous looks to each other from up close. But does the level be the same as Ziyu fright him? No. As the snake tries to harm Ziyu, he uses more of his points to make 3 of the roots and evolve to deal with the tomahawk. The snake is finally trapped in the labyrinth of the 3 roots that surround and trap it from every escape possible of it slipping away. He then uses more of his points to not only have 3, but all of his roots properly enhanced. Knowing a little detail about how to deal with snakes, Ziyu knows that he needs to attack 7 inches below the neck of the snake, as the Chinese myth states that this can kill the snake in a single hit. Creating the perfect attack for the snake to die, he attacks it with strength enough to have blood spitting out of the snake's mouth. But to his dismay and surprise, the attack did not even go all the way inside the snake's body, and only managed to create a little dent in the target spot. Now Ziyu is in a panic, not wanting to show his weak side to the snake, and also not being in the mood to let it get to him. Wanting to unleash his murderous aura, he either surrounds the snake with all his skills or evolves them further. Either way, the snake decides to turn back and leave after Ziyu's weird power show. After the snake leaves, Ziyu traps himself in self-loathing, as even if he didn't die through this, he will soon be gone with this amount of danger lying in his surroundings. The pets worry about Ziyu, but he consoles them that he is fine when the snake comes again. There will be a little more chaos than what happened right now. He doesn't know whether to blame the situation on the snake or on being so weak that he couldn't fight against it. He doesn't know whether to wait for his death or try to be stronger. The status window suddenly opens, giving Ziyu the option of using 10 evolution points to ascend to the first order of evolution ranking. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to watch more videos like these, turn on notifications, and leave a like and comment to help the channel out. From researching and scriptwriting to editing and mastering our best manhwa review channel, I will work hard to roll out the highest quality manhwa entertainment videos twice or more a week. If you like what I do here, please consider supporting the channel. To learn more about how to support the channel, check out the link in the description box down below, and if you can't give or simply don't even feel like it, that's okay too. I am just happy you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you on the next video. For now, peace.